paper HC 62260. The scenario I'm choosing involves a clinical provider who has just completed an orthopedic surgical residency and is offered a 2-year salary, including an unspecified percentage of the practice's collection, followed by a 3rd-year transition to a production-based pay position by a private practice group. Before proceeding further, I want to clarify that I have not directly contacted or communicated with the practice I discuss. This paper is purely a hypothetical scenario. I am choosing this scenario because it is one I hope to encounter and is interesting for 2 reasons: salary-based transitions and collection recovery in private practices. Since this is a choose-your-own-adventure assignment, I will select a private orthopedic practice that would be my dream to work for. One such practice is Central Texas Orthopedics in Rolling Wood. Currently, the practice is run by a single physician and is located just outside of Austin, Texas. The practice specializes in sports medicine surgeries and is situated in an excellent location due to the numerous professional and semi-professional athletes in the region. Along with the fact that the majority of state UIL competitions are held in Austin, Texas, without direct contact with this business, it is challenging to make a detailed assessment of the practice's revenue cycle and quality measures. Generally, private orthopedic practices aim to schedule 20, 30 visits for clinical days, have 25, 50 new patients per physician per month, and maintain an average wait time of 14 days for appointments. Support staff per physician typically include around 5 members, and each surgeon generally aims for a minimum of approximately 300 procedures per year. Regarding reimbursement, one of the most significant barriers for private practices is obtaining in-network status and communicating with companies prior to service for out-of-network procedures. Given the excellent scores and public reviews associated with Central Texas Orthopedics, it is reasonable to assume that all these factors are well established and running smoothly. For the fun part of this assignment, I would accept the private practice's offer regarding the 2-year salary-based pay with a transition to production-based pay. Although this may seem like a controversial decision given the scrutiny these payment schemes have faced, it is a fair deal when considering joining a private practice with only one physician. The reason these payment structures have come under scrutiny in recent years is due to instances where health systems have persuaded new physicians to sign 5-year contracts in which the first 2 years are salary-based and the last 3 are production-based. During the first 2 years, new physicians often carry the maximum patient load permitted by the Texas Medical Board and the Fair Labor Standards Act. This maximizes profits for the health system while essentially paying physicians half the amount they would earn under productivity-based reimbursement contracts. When physicians transition to the production-based phase of their contracts, health systems often reduce their patient loads, clinical visits, and approved procedures. Patients are directed to salary-based physicians first, leaving productivity-based physicians with fewer cases, thus undermining the potential income from their contracts. The rationale behind these contracts is that health systems need to invest in new physicians and absorb the risk associated with employing someone fresh out of residency. However, this situation would differ in the case of a private practice run by a single physician, as there would be no competition from other salary-based physicians when transitioning to productivity-based reimbursement. To ensure this, I would recommend including a clause in the contract stipulating that no additional salary-based physicians or physicians with similar payment agreements be hired until the contractual agreement is fulfilled, or at least during the first year of productivity-based pay. This would allow the practice to use the profits generated by the salary-based physician to offset liability risks during the first 2 years and to expand resources to accommodate the new physician. At the same time, it would guarantee the incoming physician a fair return during the productivity-based pay period. Limiting this guarantee to the first year of productivity-based pay also demonstrates a willingness to support a growing practice while recognizing the need for additional physicians over time. Another challenging aspect to comment on, without specific details from the private practice, concerns the percentage of recovered reimbursement sent to collections. If the practice uses a major collection agency such as Fair Capital, it would likely pay 25-50% of the collected amount in fees. Since this represents a significant expense for small private practices, it would be reasonable to agree to a small percentage initially, with a transition to a larger percentage as the practice grows. This paper has made several major assumptions about the private practice that would need to be addressed during initial meetings. Key questions include, does the practice anticipate further growth after hiring a new physician? How transparent is the owner about the practice and their goals? Do they provide direct answers or avoid specifics? Why is the practice seeking to hire now? Where are procedures conducted? And what company provides the instruments? Which insurance companies does the practice work with most? And what are the common issues with collections? How does the practice coordinate with anesthesia and other supporting care providers? Where do the majority of referrals come from? What metrics or systems are used for surgical eligibility and documentation? These questions are crucial for any new physician evaluating a potential employment opportunity and should be addressed without hesitation. However, Without knowing to ask these questions, they may be overlooked or intentionally avoided. Thank you for taking the time to read my scenario, Mrs. Harvey. This has been a fantastic course. If there's anything major I missed in this paper, please email me at j.jackson@kansascity.edu. This is a particularly important assignment for me, and I am currently on a very busy rotation, so I may not be able to check the Rockhurst Canvas page until the start of our next course. Thank you again for your time. So